Certainty in a time of uncertainty. This is the theme of the letter that I made, and perhaps the report that we're going to give to you this year in our annual parish finance report. I say it's a certainty in a time of uncertainty because, for one thing, we are in a situation and a circumstance where everything has been challenging, everything has been difficult, and there's been a lot of things that got thrown into the air because of the pandemic that we are experiencing. I am recording this introduction to our parish finance report in this gift from God. 5 years ago, we were uncertain of when this building will be finished, this patio, but then it got finished in time that we can offer it as a gift of a place where we can have our liturgical activities and especially our celebrations of worshiping and praying together and coming together, whether online or in person. And I think this facility that we have right now, our pavilion, is a certainty of your generosity, your gift, of your stewardship for our parish community. This year too, from the report, you will also see how consistent and how dedicated and how generous you have been in supporting our parish. And for this, we are very grateful. We have produced, as always, a brochure in which you can have in detail the rest of the things that are going to be reported. Members of our Finance Council have taken and embraced the task of recording an explanation of where we are in our position as a parish in terms of our finances and our resources. And I just do hope that we continue to be certain in our desire to support our parish, certain in expressing our love for our parish, in whatever gift we can share in our stewardship, whether it's a gift of time, talent, faith, or treasure. In any which way, those are treasures and gifts that we can build our work on, that we can sustain, and that we can also rely on in terms of our desire to carry out the mission that we have decided as a parish family. Once again, in behalf of the clerics here, Father Martin, Father John Block, our two deacons, Deacon Dan and Deacon Ricardo, we'd like to thank you for your gift of stewardship, for the gift of generosity, for the gift of support. And we promise that we will try our very best with the guidance of the Holy Spirit to be judicious and to be discerning in how we are going to manage the resources that we have. All thanks to you, and most especially to God, who is generous, kind, and ever faithful. Thank you, and God bless you all.
As a representative of the Parish Finance Council and presenting on their behalf, we are pleased to present the annual Parish Financial Report for the year ended June 30, 2020. Before getting into details, I'm sure you are interested in how the church finances have been affected by the coronavirus shutdown. I'm afraid the church has had to furlough most of its staff as part of the shutdown, and we have trimmed other expenses wherever possible. With these unfortunate cost-cutting measures, we have been able to balance our expenses with our revenues, even during the shutdown period. This balancing act has been made possible through your continuing generosity. And I would like to especially acknowledge 3 families, without naming them, who've made large, sustaining gifts that have helped us balance the books. Without their help, we would have had a deficit during the last 4 months of the year. But we can't count on their continued extraordinary support. Therefore, we are not out of the woods yet, and we absolutely need your continuing support as a parish family. Now, please refer to the annual parish report presentation online of the income and expenses for the period. We are presenting the report in the same format as last year. We hope this explains the pie chart in an easy to understand format. On the income pie chart, you see 5 pieces represented. The weekly Sunday offering at 64% is the largest portion of our income. The next slice, other ordinary income at 15%, the majority of that coming from Christmas and Easter offerings, the cell tower rentals, baptism, marriage, funerals, and votive candles. Next comes other income at 15%. This category includes PSA rebates, building fund donations, festival, and mass intentions. Slightly smaller is apostolate income at 5%. This category includes faith formation, including registrations for adult, youth, and Spanish education, retreats, backyard theology, Bible study, and many other events. Finally, there's pastoral income at 1% of our total. This is generally special events, and in this year, it was the 40th anniversary of the parish event. Now, turning our attention to the expense pie chart. Clergy expenses at 8%. This includes salaries, benefits, payroll taxes, as well as stipends to visiting priests that serve at morning and weekend masses. Administrative expenses, 32%. Our largest category, this is primarily salaries, benefits, and payroll taxes for the staff. Next, there's church and chapel supplies, 3%, including liturgical supplies, votive candles, church decorating, and paper materials such as envelopes, as well as printed materials. Facilities expenses, 16%. This is office supplies, utilities, repairs and maintenance, and liability insurance. The rectorate expense is very minor this year, just a little over $3,000 and rounding to 0%. That includes retreat expenses, hospitality, and repairs and maintenance on the rectory. Pastoral directed expenses, 3%. That includes Camino and many miscellaneous church activity expenses. The diocese assessment, 10%, which is required by the diocese, as the name says. The Catholic school assessment, 2%, which is required to support Catholic education. Finally, there's the apostolate expense at 26%, our second largest category. Apostolate expenses include faith formation for children, youth, and adults in English and in Spanish, and also included in this category is the music ministry. This includes salaries, benefits, and all supplies and materials needed for both departments. Now, for a few remarks in closing. We ask that you please continue to make your weekly offertory and encourage you to join WeShare and Venmo. As a reminder, when making donations to the diocese assigned and other secondary collections, please make a separate donation from your weekly offering. It is important that a special collection that are kept separate from our weekly offering. Our appeal this year is to please consider making a monthly donation to our building fund, as there are many improvements still need to be done. You can add the building fund as a designated offering in WeShare or Venmo. For those using envelopes, you now receive a specific envelope for the building fund. For those who choose to donate cash, please place your donation in an envelope and designate it to the building fund. Here are some of the building fund projects we would like to tackle in the near future. Our immediate need remains to be replacing the dividers in the hall, some of which are damaged enough to even be dangerous. Second, we need to replace our electrical panel. Future changes include an upgrade to our kitchen and to build a separate room for our families with small children, which is now included as part of the Blessed Sacrament Chapel that being used for that purpose. In closing, I'd like to ask for your prayers for the parish and as a small extra intention for the Finance Council, that we may be blessed with the Lord's strength and wisdom. Thank you for your continuing support, and may God bless you all.